Okay, like today, I'm not as upset. It's probably good. Yesterday was a pretty good rant, so welcome to episode 3 of The Monty Show. And today I'm going to talk about mental illness and violence and other things that seem to be pretty relevant in today's world. So, it seems like most of the people who commit these ridiculously atrocious crimes are, in some way, shape, or form, mentally ill. Yeah, there's some terrorism stuff going on, or at least there's some ideologically based violence. And yeah, there's some just random personal shit, like some guy lost his shit emotionally because he was, I don't know, dumped by his girlfriend, or somebody insulted his penis or something like that. You know, there's some of that. But most of the shooters seem to be mentally unstable. They seem to be suffering from something. And so we've got this impression that mentally ill people are dangerous. When I went super crazy a couple of years ago, maybe it was 5 years ago, hell, maybe it was last week, a lot of people got scared. They said, man, you're really freaking me out, you're unstable, I'm worried, can't be your friend, can't be your family member, I gotta bail, you could hurt somebody. And I'm like, wow, I'm not actually dangerous. I'm seething mad. It comes out of me just like explosively. But I don't think I'm dangerous. Well, yesterday I said I was, and I probably am on some level. But the reality is that doesn't mean you can't reach out to me, and it certainly doesn't mean it's contagious, and it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and buy a gun and start shooting people. First of all, I don't believe in guns. Fuck you. Fuck your guns. You like guns, you're the one who's mentally ill. Let's look at mental illness again. How many people are mentally ill? Well, National Institutes of Health suggests that at any one time during a given year, about 26% of the U.S. population has some form of diagnosable mental illness. That's about 60 million people. So there's 60 million people who are mentally ill, and like 10 of them per year do something atrocious. The statistics are pretty clear that mentally ill people don't actually represent a substantial threat to societal safety. However, that's the dialogue today. It was a mentally ill person, another fucking whack job, another loony person, yep, let's medicate everybody, blah, blah, blah. And oh, by the way, I have a pretty good pharmaceutical medication that's actually keeping me from wanting to kill myself, so I'm not against medication. What I am against is creating a narrative where mentally ill people are the problem. They're not. Mentally ill people are not the problem. Some of the people who commit these crimes are mentally ill, but there's another statistic that I think is pretty telling. Most of the people, like 98 or 99% of the people who commit these crimes are male. It's male violence we're looking at. We do not routinely have women walking into public places with assault rifles, laying people down. Yeah, the California thing recently, there was a woman involved. Absolutely, there's always an exception to the rule. But the reality is this shit is a male problem. It's men. Not all men. Well, actually, yes, all men. Men share a culture of violence. Men build this culture from day one. It's given to us by our fathers and our peers. We teach it to each other at school. We teach it to each other on the playground. We enshrine it in sports. We create a mindset in which it's reasonable to respond to emotional insult or injustice or some other thing that bothers us with violence. We think we can elevate these problems to violence and solve them by either hitting people or beating them up or raping them or killing a whole bunch of them. I'm a man, and I am embarrassed. I mean, I'm not going to chop off my dick. I kind of like my dick. You know, I might not even be the only one. It has proved occasionally useful. But I'm really, really concerned about this culture that we've created amongst men in this country, and I think we got to look at it. And if men don't stand up and work on this, if men don't ask difficult questions of themselves and their peers, this stuff isn't going to go away. You know, yeah, I'm probably going to get some men's rights activists whining about, oh no, it's not all men and you're anti-male, yes, this is anti, you know, and yeah, well, go back to your mother's basement and jack off or something. Fuck you. The reality is, it's men. Men do this. Men do this at home, men do this at work, men do this to their kids, men do this to their spouses, to their girlfriends, to their boyfriends. Men fucking hurt people. Because men are taught that it's okay to hurt people, that hurting people is a way to solve problems. Fuck that shit. Hurting people is never a reason. Hurting people is never justified. Hurting people is never okay, and it never solved anything ever. I'm actually going to include war in that. Hurting people doesn't solve problems. So, men, every one of us, all men, yes, all men, we got to look inside, deep inside. We got to find our own space of peace. We got to find our own ways to process our emotions, and we got to find new ways to express ourselves and new ways to behave. Because if we don't, this shit's going to continue, and we're going to blame mentally ill people, or Islamic fundamentalists, or right-wing white supremacists, or the Black Panthers, or radical environmentalists, or whatever. But it's men. It's men. That's it. It's men. Male culture is the toxin that's fucking up the entire planet. Let's fix that, okay?